We're back. It's another Sarcasm Speaks, and this might be the first one in a while that's not like super out of time sync thing, whatever word I'm looking for here.
Yeah, what's this, Monday?
Yeah, it's gonna be Monday's episode, and we are recording this on a Friday, so it's like not out of the realm of, you know, what normally happens. We're only going to be 3 days behind in news. Because I think one of those, it was funny because Sexy Chris reached out to me on Instagram and sent me something for, I don't know, I forget now, but it was one of the episodes. And, because it was about the Dante Wright stuff.
Yeah.
Because we had done 2 episodes on it, like over time, but like the first one came out like literally the day it happened.
Yeah.
But it was released at the time when we recorded the second one.
Yeah.
So like our thoughts and opinions obviously had changed from one episode to the next or whatever. And then he was like, hey, you know, this is that, like, we're just having a normal conversation. I was like, yeah, man, I actually talked about that, but you're not going to hear it until the next episode, which is in like 4 more days. Because it was about the whole taser thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we had covered that in the second episode. Like, and he actually made a really good point, because I had said to him, like, you know, when you're in the heat of the moment and adrenaline is flowing, because I had originally said the weight of a loaded gun should be a lot different than a taser, or like make them different colors. Like, you need to like go out of your way to make it so that in like a bang bang, for lack of a better term.
See what you did there.
Situation, like your subconscious needs to be able to tell you that something is wrong. Because when you're flying in a moment like that, you're not going to have the time to stop and think. So like, if the taser is bright yellow or like bright orange, or like it's super light, or it's actually heavier than a gun, because I feel like heavier might be a little bit better because the weight might throw you. I don't know.
Yeah.
Weights can mess you up. But when adrenaline is running through your veins, like you could pick up. You've seen people pick up cars. You know what I mean? Like you have, like, it doesn't matter. But you know, something like that. And he had a really good point, and he said that it's hard to do anything tactical when you're in all black and then you have a bright yellow taser hanging off of your belt. And I was like, yeah, no, that is fair. That's a good point.
Yeah.
But what it comes down to at the end of the day was training. Like, you need to train in high stress situations so that when you're in one, you can actually handle it.
Yep.
And then the problem was, you know, with all the defunding, there's no money left for training.
Nope.
So
maybe the social workers will get it right.
Yeah. Oddly enough, though, on the day, so obviously all of this is fucking going down during the Derek Chauvin trial. And the day he gets sentenced,
Or the day he was...
the day he was
convicted?
not he doesn't get sentenced for like 2 more months.
Yeah.
There was a viral video that went out of a body cam of a police officer. I don't know where it was. I forget. Ohio, maybe, somewhere.
That sounds right.
Yeah. I don't know. It's not a news show. We make up news sometimes. We make up facts. Don't follow us for your news, folks.
Yeah, you definitely don't want our facts. It's usually when we start doing our thing.
Yeah.
You get to listen and go, wow, these two are disabled.
Yes. But on that day, there was a 15-year-old girl that was shot and killed in Ohio. However, when you watch the video, the girl that was shot was wielding a knife and was going after another girl, and was like literally was within feet, if not inches, of stabbing this girl. So the cop had to make a split-second decision, and his decision was fire his weapon and get this person not to stab the other person.
Yeah.
And then the world erupts and says that the cop is racist and he needs to be fired.
Yeah, that one is really hard, because in the video, it wasn't 9 minutes, 7 minutes, 7 to 9 minutes. I don't remember.
Yeah.
It wasn't, a no-knock warrant into someone's house. Like,
Right.
that was like that.
Yep. It's a literal split-second decision.
And the girl who got shot was that also escalated quickly, to quote Anchorman.
Yeah.
It was like all of a sudden it was like they were there and there was a reason the cops were there.
Right.
But then all of a sudden this girl came out of like was the girl in the pink that got shot?
No, I think the girl in the pink was about to get stabbed. Yeah.
But like so the other girl just came out of almost nowhere. Like very quickly.
Yeah. It wasn't a small knife either.
No, it looked pretty big.
Yeah.
Like especially because like some of the still frames are super fucking blurry.
Yeah.
And you fucking know what she's holding.
Yeah.
So that's a tough one because a lot of people go immediately to age.
Right.
Because what was she, 15, 16?
She was 15.
And people go to age and it's like, oh, it's too young to die. It's like, dude, you can't just like,
Right.
You can't just conditionally do this. The age is actually seriously irrelevant when the person in question
is about to commit murder.
Yeah,
like,
but, or if it's like,
if
if it's a 7-year-old with a knife.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you can stop a 7-year-old.
You don't have to shoot a 7-year-old.
A 15-year-old, that person can stab someone.
Right. And because immediately what came out was, oh my God, this cop is racist. Here we go. More racism. Cops hate black people. Now, this is just my knee-jerk reaction. I haven't put, heavy thought into this. But my knee-jerk reaction would be, if this cop was actually racist and really didn't like black people, what he would do is let perpetrator 1 let the perpetrator stab the victim in the neck, like she was about to do,
and then shoot
her too.
Yeah,
so they both die. Like that's what a truly racist person that hates black people would do, right?
Yeah.
So like, this person was just doing their job.
Yes.
Their job was to stop,
protect the other person.
The person wielding the knife needs to be stopped. So it's just what that officer deemed necessary in the moment.
Yeah, that one was really tough because I heard about it. I didn't see the video, and then
I watched the video.
I eventually saw it. Someone at the gym was talking about it, and I even said, I go, this is way different of a situation because it happened awfully quick.
Yeah, really interesting. I don't know if this is every state, but I know some states, the way the laws are written for, I don't know if it's prosecuting police officers, but when something comes up with police officers, most areas, the way it's actually written is, did this officer do something within the realm of a, I'm going to butcher it, but I'm paraphrasing anyway, but it's within the realm of a reasonable officer. And the word officer is used specifically instead of person. Like, is this action a reasonable action that any average officer would use in this situation? Not person. Because you and I, standing there, I'm not the world's best shot. I don't practice all the time.
I've literally never shot a gun.
Yeah. So you and I, our first reaction probably isn't going to be to shoot our gun at this girl to get her to stop.
Nope.
So we are not good examples to use because we're not officers. But the way the law is written, like I said, in most places is it a reasonable action that any average officer would make? And if the law is written that way in Ohio, if this did happen in Ohio, I don't see how you can convict this police officer of anything.
Yeah, this one I will say is really, really hard. And when some people try to do the whole like, well, George Floyd shouldn't have been there, dude, that's not it. You're missing the point.
Right.
Or it's like right. It's like, oh well, he got into his car. Don't know what he's gonna do. It's like, yeah, I hear ya.
Right.
This one, I almost think is almost like no doubt. Like, dude, what did you
want them to do? Because it's exactly right. So the George Floyd thing, 100%, that officer was wrong. You did not need to put your knee on the back of this dude's neck for 7 minutes.
Yeah,
completely unnecessary. You got convicted. there's a lot of chatter about whether or not legally the higher charges will stick.
Yeah.
If they get appealed, but that's not for me to decide. Dante Wright, that was just an egregious, awful, like, those words don't even do it justice. It is egregious times a million.
Yeah.
Of a mistake.
Right.
I deserve to be prosecuted. Like, let the court system handle it. Absolutely, I support that.
Yeah.
And whatever happens in the legal system is what in the judicial system is what happens. This one, I just don't see why you would need to. I mean, if you want to bring it through the judicial system, fine. But I will tell you, as a fucking dickhead sitting in a chair drinking a long drink, shout out to Tuukka Rask, you fucking bum. That I don't see how that officer could get convicted of this one.
Yeah, no, that's the job. That right there is the job.
Yeah.
So interesting.
Yeah. It's a bit of a heavy way to start out, but it kind of flowed into my anecdote about talking to Sexy Chris the other day. We should well, I don't know. I'd have to talk to him. I was gonna say we should try and get him on and like have him work out his own thought, because him and I have had some really good conversations, obviously off air.
Yeah, it probably makes more sense for him to keep his thoughts away from.
Yeah, and like, I mean, it's up to him, and I'm sure. I mean, yeah, probably. I don't know. Like I said, it's up to him, but I wouldn't want anyone to censor themselves for any reason, because I surely don't censor myself.
Right.
But
yeah, I mean, that's his call.
Yeah.
But also, I mean, just the way things are right now, it's just one of those where sometimes it's easier just fucking put your head down and just do what you need to do. I don't know where he's at. I mean,
yeah,
where he's at is a different part of the country.
Right.
Who knows?
Yeah, and it's one of those things too where no one actually knows his real name and no one knows where he is an officer. So that's always good to have anonymity. I don't know. I'll leave it up to him. Chris, let me know. If you're listening right now, let me know. Let me know how you feel. Because I'm sure this isn't going to be the last of the
because now with the police. Every time. Because every fucking time.
The other thing is a lot of departments are going full-time body cams.
Yep.
So now you're going to catch everything. So
yeah, we're going to have to reestablish the job.
Yeah.
And this is the thing, is a lot of the outrage, people are looking past the job.
Yeah. And one of the things I had said to him too was, you have all these people, they're essentially like armchair quarterbacks, like the Monday morning quarterback coming in the next day. Oh, you shouldn't have made that throw, whatever. Oh, you should have taken that shot. Well, I would look at all those people that are going to criticize the police departments and say, if you think you can do a better job, why don't you apply to become a police officer? If you think you would be so much better, why don't you do the job and actually make a difference? That's what I would say to people. Like, within reason. You know, if you have a 45-year-old person that's criticizing the police department, they're probably not going to become a cop at 45 years old. No. But if you have someone that's, you know, in their 20s and 30s and they're like, oh, fuck the police, like they're all bullshit, whatever. Well, why don't you change that? You can change that. Like, we in this country have very little effect on anything.
Yes.
Like we all know, your vote actually doesn't really matter.
Nope.
On the national landscape, more so in the local. Yeah, sure. But you actually can make a difference as a single person if you make a career change and become an officer, because now you bring your ideals and your values into the job where you think you're so much better than the current people that do the job. I don't know. That's what I would say to anybody that would be very quick to criticize, but then say, well, no, I mean, I don't want to do the job. Well, I don't know what you want here, because these are the people that we have doing the job. So this is what we have to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's the thing. It's easy to sit. No one acts. Everyone talks.
No. Yeah.
All talk, no action. That's everything.
Yeah. That's all it is. So I don't know. That's fucking, actually kind of in a similar note, California is going to shit very quickly. I think we all knew this, but I don't know if you heard that recently, within the last like couple months, the new district attorney of LA County has made all kinds of crazy things that like it's a he or it's Gascon. His or her last name is Gascon. I don't know if it's a male or a female. I could do a Google search, but I don't want to.
Yeah, we already discussed this guy, Beauty and the Beast.
So, oh yeah, that's right. So he's done a lot of really stupid shit in LA County. One of the newest ones is he is not prosecuting people that steal less than $900 of things, of stuff.
Yeah, well, now there's a limit.
So now, what are people doing?
Stealing $8.99 worth of shit.
They're going into stores stealing like $850 worth of stuff, and they're not being prosecuted for it.
Yeah.
I heard this on Joe Rogan the other day. He was like, yeah, the fucking district attorney passed this thing where they're not prosecuting for misdemeanors in LA County, and in LA County it's a misdemeanor if you steal less than $900. So he goes, yeah, I heard stories of people are breaking into stores stealing $850 worth of merchandise and then leaving, and they're there's no consequence because they're not being prosecuted. If they get caught, I would imagine they just have to give the stuff back.
So I just Googled this guy. So it is a guy. Mm-hmm. It's George. And I just Googled his name to figure out his first name and make sure he wasn't in fact a male.
Yeah. And
some of the headlines. He's the one who downsized the gang unit.
Yep. That's when we talked about him before, yeah.
Draws confusion, criticism. LA County Sheriff. He's the only one who seems to know what the fuck is going on in that place. He was the one who also was like, oh, yeah, all your COVID rules. Yeah, we're not enforcing that.
Right.
No relationship with DA Gascon. His policies are not working. LA's top prosecutor adopted major reforms. Law enforcement is fighting to block every policy. Sister of gang violence victim slams DA Gascon's push to eliminate juvenile strikes. So I don't know what that actually is, but yeah, you got to imagine he could be. I don't want to read it, but so let's play guess that article based on the headline.
All right, I like this game.
It sounds like if you are either young or it's not that serious of a crime,
it doesn't go on your record.
You're not going to be prosecuted for it. Yeah. So if you were a gang member, let's pretend I've never been,
and I were 16 years old,
or no, just say you were a gang member at 23.
Yeah.
And
I see where you're going with this.
And I've never been in a gang, so I don't quite know how it works. But wouldn't you maybe recruit like a 14-year-old
and have them do the shit
and say, "Hey,
yeah,
go rob that house."
Yep.
You want to be one of us, right?
Yep.
Want to be one of the crew?
Yep.
You go rob that house. Get $895 worth of shit and come back.
Yeah, and then it's a double protection. One, you're not going to get prosecuted because it's less than 900, and two, it's not going to go on your record because you're a juvenile.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow. What a fucking shitbag state.
Yeah. So I guess if you're a minor, you would typically get strikes that would affect your adult life in some capacity. He's trying to get rid of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Oh, you're 13 years old? You want to make $20?
Yeah. Yeah.
You want to be one of us, right? We'll always have your back.
Yeah, we'll always be here for you. But so that's there. Oh, and no fear though, because officially today, I know we're a little behind in time when this gets released, but today in our time, real news, like 3 hours ago, it was made official. Caitlyn Jenner is running for governor of California against Gavin Newsom.
You know what to do.
As a Republican.
You know what to do, California.
Yep. This is how Schwarzenegger got in.
This is what you need. You know what to do.
Hold on. Let me see. There was this thing. I think it was Jerry News. Yes. Okay. So this is Jerry News, which I really enjoy. They're they're pretty unbiased. They're just facts only. So they have this picture of Caitlyn Jenner in front of the California flag, and they go, Caitlyn Jenner is officially running for governor of California, challenging Gavin Newsom in the state's recall election. In the statement announcing her run, Jenner, a Republican and former Trump supporter, said Newsom's response to COVID-19 was over-restrictive, and she said also the state's taxes are, quote, too high. So this is awesome, because this puts people exactly where I wanted them to be. Are you going to be super progressive and say we need our first transgender governor in the country? Or are you going to say, well, I can't vote for Caitlyn Jenner because she's a Republican? Oh, I didn't know you were transphobic.
Yep. Just remember. Just remember. If you don't vote for her, you're transphobic.
Yes. Yeah, that's
you hate trans people.
That's exactly what that means. If you are in the state of California and you do not vote for Caitlyn Jenner, that means you are transphobic. That is the same type of rhetoric and thought process that these woke left people like to use all the time for every other scenario. So why would it not apply to this one?
This is how this works, people.
Yeah, you can't have it your way only when you want
Remember, it's not fucking woke when convenient.
Yeah, it's woke all the time.
You're in or you're out.
Caitlyn Jenner, first transgender. Caitlyn Jenner, first transgender governor.
Better all vote for her.
In United States history.
Better all vote for her.
If I lived in California, I'd vote for her.
You don't want to be transphobic, right?
No, I don't.
Yeah.
Also, if I lived in California, I would agree with her that the taxes are too high. I think the taxes are too high in Massachusetts. So I am all in for this. I don't really like politics that much, but I am going to follow this pretty close. Well, when I say pretty closely, I mean pretty closely for me. So it means I'm probably just going to look up what's happening on Twitter while it's going on. So I would love, I don't know how recall elections work. I don't know if there's a primary involved. I don't know if there's like debates. I don't know if it's just like hey, the recall election is this day. These are the people that's running, so go vote. I don't know how it works. But you want to know what I think is kind of interesting in a way is, now I don't know this for sure, which side these people fall on, but within the last year, California has had a mass exodus of people. They've lost a ton of people from their population. Like I said, I don't know what that type of person is. I only know the people that are famous, like Joe Rogan and Tom Segura and all these people that have left California. And they seem to be more level-headed as far as things go. So I don't know. Do you say that the people left in California are just super liberal? I don't know. I don't know what that did to California's political demographics.
Honestly, there's probably enough people where it might not have really changed a whole lot.
Right.
Plus, people are still going to be pissed at this guy.
I don't know how many people live in California, but they might have been 35 million, and now there's 33. When I say there's a mass exodus, they still probably have well over 30 million people in the state.
Yeah. I don't think it'll change much. The exodus won't change much.
Yeah.
As opposed to what would have happened.
Yeah. I would love that though. I really want Caitlyn Jenner to win.
That would be awesome.
Because she is a conservative. And they said in the thing, she's
also not a politician.
She's a Trump supporter.
I'm always a fan of non-politicians becoming politicians.
Yes, because they don't give a fuck. It's one of those things, Dan Holloway says it all the time on Drinkin' Bros. Those that want power don't deserve it, and those that deserve power don't want it.
Yep.
And it's the truth, and unfortunately, it's kind of shitty.
Yep. Well, you're seeing people bitch yet again. Actually, might have been BLM.
They're going after Biden.
Yeah, they're pissed at him.
Yeah,
because spoiler alert. He's a fucking politician.
Yeah.
He did nothing. We've said this a million times. He did
Yep.
nothing for over 40 years.
Yeah.
And now he's there and he's still doing nothing.
Yep.
And people are pissed.
Yeah. Yeah. And people are surprised that the guy, imagine that, you're surprised the guy that helped write the crime bill in 1994 that put so many black people behind bars.
He did one thing.
Yeah. The one thing he did
one
was,
thing very detrimental to black people.
Yeah. Yeah. And now you're upset that this guy is fucking things up.
Yeah, I would say this is on them.
I saw one meme of someone from BLM, I think, posted it and said, President Biden has militarized our neighborhoods and has put more military in the streets than Donald Trump ever did, or something along those lines.
Yep.
And I was like, here we go.
Yep.
You thought he was going to be different.
Nope.
He's not.
Nope. People don't change, man.
No, people are fucking stupid. And that's the one thing I will say about Trump is, as much as he was a fucking moron and he couldn't keep his mouth shut, I think when it came to domestic policy, at least he was for small government. Like, I think for the most part, he was hands off.
Yeah.
For the most part. Obviously, nothing is absolute, but only Siths. But I didn't think he was bad there. I don't know. All around, I didn't think he was an awful president outside of his fucking mouth. But who am I?
Yeah, but again, it's like the shit he said, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, that obviously, it's weighted.
Fucking literally, yeah.
Like, you could be fucking, the greatest politician in history, but if you're a piece of human dog shit, like stuck on the bottom of a shoe, like, that still kind of goes against you pretty hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what, there's this other thing. Since we're on, I said taxes before, it reminded me. New York passed this law that, Cuomo better watch out. He's going to get fucking recalled soon too. But they passed this new law in New York that they're raising taxes.
Sick.
So now this isn't all federal government or all state government. This is everything combined in whatever. But when it's all said and done, people that make over, I don't know what it is, $400,000 or over $1 million. I don't know what their tax bracket is, but the highest number of people, the highest earners in the state of New York are going to pay, all told, 52% of their income in taxes.
You know what those people are going to do?
Leave.
They probably already can. Most likely they own a house somewhere else.
Yeah. Yes.
If you've got that type of cash.
And they are going to be spending 185 days in that house somewhere else, because that's all you need to qualify to be a resident. Like, you have to spend a majority of the year in that state to claim residency. That's why all like the super rich people that bought property and moved to Puerto Rico, they stay in Puerto Rico. It's accumulative. It doesn't have to be consecutive either, but you have to be in Puerto Rico for at least like 185 or like 190 days out of the year.
Yeah, there's also got to be like a lot of loopholes there too.
Oh, there's so many loopholes.
Because I imagine, say you own two houses, one in Puerto Rico, one in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
If you go to Texas for a week, I got to imagine that reverts back to your primary residence.
Yeah, you just have to spend time in your primary. Yeah, I don't know.
No. So like what I'm saying, so you, as long as you're not spending time at your other residence,
right,
all has to count towards your primary.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
If you're super rich, you can do shit like this. But if you want to
you can have 7 houses.
If you want to live on the Cape for 2 consecutive months, and your primary residence is Florida and your secondary residence is Puerto Rico, I got to imagine those 2 months just revert to your primary residence.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know exactly how it doesn't works,
because just because you rent a house for 2 months doesn't make you a resident of Massachusetts.
Correct. Yeah. Because the whole reason why people go to Puerto Rico is you don't pay taxes. You don't pay state taxes.
Yeah.
You still pay federal taxes.
Listen, if you're rich enough to fucking have a house in Puerto Rico to evade taxes, you're rich enough to know what to fucking do with it.
Right. Or hire someone that does.
Well, you already have someone hired that does. I assume.
But so obviously this is not good for the state of New York. 1. 2, I have a personal problem with this because now the government is taking more than half of the money that you earn, which is almost literally socialism or communism. Like, that is what that is. Like, the government owns. So what that is, so look at it like a business. If you owned 51% of a business, like let's say you and Chris, like you own 51%.
Majority owner.
And Chris owns 49%. You're the majority owner. You own the business. He is by title a minority owner.
Yep.
Well, now the government owns 52% of your money, which means you no longer have majority claim to your money. Which is
the government has,
which is a massive problem for me.
Yeah, the government owns the majority of your income.
Right. From like a philosophical, like political standpoint, like I have a huge problem with that, because now the government essentially owns you and owns your income.
Yeah, I mean that's it. So saying it owns you is obviously very strong.
It's hyperbole.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, I mean, I just look at it like purely, that's just a lot of money.
Yeah.
So if you make $1 million, they're going to take 520,000.
520,000.
If that math is correct.
Yes. Yeah. Which is insane. And then it also de-incentivizes people to make that much money.
Okay. So I've had this conversation with your accountant before.
Yeah.
And what because he has people that make they do well. Like he's got people that make a lot of money, and a lot of them will say it's like, oh, I need a business that loses money. He's like, why?
Yeah.
He goes, well, my tax liability is too high. So he does the math.
Right.
That type of logic is incorrect.
Yeah.
Because
I would imagine there's certain,
if you pay, I forget, you need a number for an example. But when you pay taxes on your profit, you pay about, say, 33% taxes.
Yeah.
When you lose the money, you lose the money's gone.
Right.
So you're giving away $1 for $1 to lose it, whereas opposed you're only giving away 33 cents on $1.
Yeah.
To pay taxes on it.
Right.
So he goes, well, your other option is you could just make less. You'll pay less taxes that way.
Right.
That's never an option.
Right.
So what they'll do, they'll just leave. That's it.
Yeah. So I guess I'm trying to figure out the math in my head. So let's use easy numbers here. So let's use, obviously we already said it. If you make, if the tax bracket line is $1 million and New York takes 52%, you walk with 480,000. So you make $1 million in a year, you get to keep 480,000. But say you make $950,000 in a year, and say the take is 48%. So that would mean you keep
just do it.
52.
You would keep 52. That's
494,000. Yeah, so you would be in the plus 54 grand.
Yep.
It's an extra 50 grand a year. It costs you for $10,000 of earnings. You earned an extra 10,000 and you had to pay an extra 50 in taxes.
Yep. So that'll be the other part of it, is they'll make sure they will earn the exact dollar.
Right. Everyone will change their salaries to
that
something.
Maximizes the amount.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
And they'll just leave.
Yeah, they'll just fucking leave. So New York and California, not looking good right now. Unless Caitlyn Jenner can turn things around.
Well, that's the wrong state.
Well, I mean in California. I said New York and California.
Oh, well, but this was the New York tax hike, right?
Yeah. So, but yeah, like I said, that's just for me personally. Like the government taking 52% of your income is not cool at all.
No, it's way too much.
It's way too much fucking money, especially aside from the fact that the government is the worst fucking thing ever at spending money. Like you want to learn how to waste money.
Give it to the government.
Give it to the government. Learn how they follow what they do. They waste money like better than anybody else. Better than a fucking 17-year-old that won the lottery.
Yeah, better than a guy who rents a Rolls Royce for him and his kids when they go to Florida for a week.
Yeah. But that's all just fucking stupid shit. Oh, I had that. I clicked that thing. I had an article for that 52%. It's gone. It's done. I don't know. You got anything else?
Yeah, I mean, like, the only thing that's going on right now that I'm interested to see is Rhode Island and Connecticut are getting rid of COVID rules.
Really?
So Connecticut soon.
Yeah.
In June, I'm sorry, before May, I believe, or maybe it's like mid-May or something, whatever, by June,
Yeah.
restaurants and gyms will have no restrictions except wearing masks indoors. The same with Rhode Island. They're getting rid of everything except masks indoors. So I'm waiting to see, and I think New Hampshire got rid of everything.
New Hampshire already got rid of their mask mandate. Yeah.
So that's New England, which, unfortunately, for when I commended Mr. Führer Baker
Yeah.
for not following these states when they were like shutting down,
Yeah.
now I'm getting fucking bit in the ass on that one.
Right.
Because now he's not following those states to just open up. It's like, fuck.
Right.
Talk about when convenient.
Yeah. Yeah. What about Maine and Vermont? What are they up to?
Well,
I feel like they're like the bastard, like redheaded stepchildren of New England,
we got to remember.
where they just kind of fly under the radar.
Yeah, they're hippie central up there.
Like
though.
no one gives a shit about Vermont and Maine.
Yeah, like there's no pressure for them to do anything.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, it is like hippie, especially Vermont. Vermont is like hippie central. Dude.
It is hippies with guns. Because they all love guns, but they all smoke weed.
Yeah, well, I think you also get up there, I think you do get a 50-50. It's either like, hey, man, or it's come and get them. Like, that's like, there's no in between.
Yeah, yeah.
If they're in between, it's a vacation house.
Yeah.
But like, the other thing with those two states, no one gives a fuck. Like, no one cares.
Yeah. Literally no one cares.
So, I looked it up today. I think we're getting close to almost half the country has just abandoned the rules. Mm-hmm. I think half the country still holds it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Baker said by the end of April, he'll make a call
Yeah.
on what we're going to do. I'm curious to know, though. Like, I'm really curious because if anything, like, and this is the other thing that, like, federally, we've been commended on our fucking vaccine rate or whatever. It's like over 60%.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
Oof.
cool.
Awesome.
Sick.
Wonderful. Imagine that. The people up here are just willing to get the vaccine. You know what? That's Charlie Baker. You know, hey, nice job, Charlie Baker. That's all you, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Definitely him.
Yeah, it's definitely you, not the fucking... Definitely not... Or you definitely weren't the one that had the slowest rollout out of anybody.
Yeah.
Definitely the one that's sitting here bitching about not having enough fucking doses.
Yeah.
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 Fuck you. Dumb fuck.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, though. I thought it was interesting because obviously it was like it started with Texas, Mississippi. Mm-hmm. Then, like, you know, Georgia at one point. I saw Arizona, Indiana, like all these irrelevant states.
Yeah.
Sounds good coming from up here.
Right, right.
On our high horse. Because we're
Goddamn
above because we're north.
Yeah.
So we're higher.
Yeah.
But then Connecticut did it. I was like, whoa. Or at least it was restaurants, gyms.
Right, right.
And now Rhode Island's doing like nothing. I'm like, wow. That was even more surprising because they were shut for like a month right around Christmas.
Yeah, well, did Rhode Island get a new governor yet? Didn't their governor get named something in the cabinet?
Oh, is it? Yeah, I think she was going to be... What was she going to be?
I don't know. Transportation czar? Maybe? That rings a bell? Because I think that was
she gonna be
originally...
the transportation queen?
That originally was supposed to go to Mayor Garcetti until Black Lives Matter started protesting outside of his house for a month straight.
Yeah, I don't know what...
I think she got something.
Because Walsh is the labor.
Yeah. Well, oh, yeah. Yeah, cool.
Oh, yeah. Daniel McKee is in now. Mm-hmm. Gina Raimondo, commerce queen.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it was her. Yeah, all it took was a new governor. Imagine that.
It's so funny. I know we talked about it before, but like, if anybody like watches House of Cards or like any of those crazy like political shows, I'm willing to bet that it's a lot closer to that in real life than we would expect. Like, I'm not saying that House of Cards is exactly how it goes down, obviously. Like, I don't think the fucking majority whip is like murdering female reporters and throwing them in front of trains and shit in DC.
Oh, you don't?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah, actually, I'm not.
You really can't confirm that.
I can't. I can neither confirm nor deny.
Yeah. Burden of proof's on you on this one.
So, but as far as like the back alley sketchy fucking deals, like how can you not? And I know we've talked about this before, but like all the states that shut down the hardest, they're the ones with people that are being appointed to the cabinet positions. And it's like, come on, dude. Like, it doesn't take a fucking rocket science. Like, we don't need Matt Patricia to figure out, like, you know, what's going on here. Like, it's as simple as making a phone call. Like, hey, you want a cabinet position? All right, cool. Well, lock your state down.
Yep.
Support Biden. Lock your state down. Stay in lockstep with whatever he says on the campaign trail, and you'll get yourself a cushy little job in the fucking cabinet. And there you go.
It's that simple, right?
Yeah, but no, you can't be. You're just a conspiracy theorist. Like,
Yep,
yeah, okay.
You're right.
You know what's funny is I had a conversation yesterday with a woman I work with, and she is an immigrant, and she asked me. She goes, did you get the vaccine?" And I go, "No." And then she turns and goes, "Are you gonna get it?" And I was like, I made like a quick judgment, like split-second decision, and was like, "Nah, probably not." And she goes, "Oh my God, thank God." She goes, "I don't understand any of this bullshit." She's like, all of this stupid thing. Like, she goes, "It has over a 99% survival rate. And like, I don't know why everything is here." And she's like talking shit like her parents are in their like 70s or 80s. And like, I think she said her dad wanted to go get it, and her mom was like, "Yeah, fuck him. He can go get it, but I'm going to wait 6 months after he gets it before I even think about it." So it's like, it's just funny. And she's...
See you in October.
And she's like, "Yeah, no, I have no reason to get it." She's like, "I'm active. You know, I'm healthy." She's like, I think it's dumb." And she goes, I don't understand why the whole world is being shut down. And she's from, I have some country in Africa. I truthfully don't know which one.
Yep.
And she was like, "Yeah, I just don't understand it." But it's funny that the people that I talk to, and I thought more about this, and I wonder if, because it's a statistic, minority populations are less likely to get this vaccine than white people. So I'm sitting here now that I've had a conversation with my coworker, and you know, we talk about some other stuff and all this fun stuff, and I go, I wonder if it's like people that come from areas that are destitute and
Is that another word for has real problems?
yeah, it's like poor. It's like extreme poverty, but it's not third world. You know what I mean? I wonder if they realize that there are bigger problems in the world, like probably the country that they came from.
Yeah. Yeah, where it's like you could realistically get eaten by a lion.
Yeah. Or like murdered by a fucking gang. I don't know what they're called in other countries. Like cartels are Mexico, gangs are United, like whatever they're called.
Just like
organized crime.
militias.
Yeah, militias, organized crime in other countries. Like you could just get murdered at any old time.
Yeah, I mean,
And they're like, yeah, this thing isn't that bad. Like it has a higher than a 99% chance survival. Why would I get this thing? Like I wonder if that has something to do with it.
yeah, if I'm thinking about African countries, things that are definitely would be top of my concerns, and I'm going to exclude things that as a white American that would probably kill me over there, like the water or something.
Yeah.
Like something I'm not like something that just because like culturally I'm not set up for.
Right.
But nature. That's one. Nature.
Nature's a big one.
I'm starting with that.
Yeah.
Animals.
Yep.
Whatever else.
Yeah.
Then I would go with either war and or revolutions.
Yes.
That would be a real problem in an African country.
Yep. I would imagine so.
They're pretty good at them.
Yes. They've been doing them for quite a long time.
My third would be my job. I hear blood diamonds are pretty popular over there, and never saw the movie, but
Yeah.
I think they're pretty safe.
Yeah. Or sand mines.
Yep.
Those are fun. That's where Francis Ngannou came from. I love that story. He fucking, the MMA fighter. He escaped from Cameroon and tried to make his way to Europe. And he was caught in Morocco as a refugee or whatever, trespasser, I don't know, whatever they're called. And when he got caught by the Moroccan government, they brought him to the Sahara Desert and dropped him in the desert. He made it back to Morocco and was caught again. This happened 7 times. He was caught by the government and dropped in the Sahara Desert 7 times. And on the 8th trip, he made it to Europe and he made it to France. And this was after he worked in the sand mines, just mining sand, like just digging in sand.
As if they don't have enough of it over there.
As a child, like just digging sand for years.
It's like the movie Holes.
Yeah, seriously. But like sand and not fucking dirt.
Yeah.
Like, and then he finally makes it to France and then I think gets into boxing or something, or he's homeless in France. So he lives on the street. And mind you, he's like 6'5", 6'6", like 275 pounds, 280. He has to cut to make weight as a heavyweight. And the weight limit is 265. So this fucking
Large
guy.
person.
Yeah. So it's shit like that when I look at it, like when he's fighting in an MMA ring, that is not the hardest thing he's ever done in his life.
It's probably not even top 20.
Yep. I can think of at least 7 things that were harder.
Well, I can think of 7 specific trips.
Yes. Yeah.
Plus, the whole sand mine thing.
Yeah. So like it's shit like that where I think, and like when I talk to people that are immigrants and they say shit like, fuck no, why would I get the vaccine? And it's like, oh, maybe you actually have some perspective here that like no one wants to pay attention to.
Yeah, it's even simpler. If you're from a lower served community, what are you more likely to do? Die of COVID or die of getting stabbed by a crackhead?
Yeah.
I'm thinking the crackhead probably takes the cake in a lot of these underserved communities in the United States.
Right. Or just any sort of crime in general. Just crime in general.
Yeah.
You're more likely to...
Yeah, if you live in Gary, Indiana, it's not going to be COVID. COVID's not going to be your biggest threat.
No. No. But, I mean, how dare we say that COVID's not a big deal?
Whatever. I'm happy so many people are getting vaccinated. Makes me...
Yeah, me too.
Makes me smile.
I am the kid, or we are the kids. You and I are the ones in the group project in high school that's just along for the ride. Like eventually we're going to have enough people to get the vaccine where we're going to hit herd immunity regardless.
They just said a couple months.
Regardless of whether it's June or July or fucking December. Like we're going to get to the point where we get herd immunity. I am going to do absolutely zero to contribute to that. I am going to be that dickhead that cruises in the group project that does absolutely nothing and then shows up on the day of the presentation and is like, yeah, good work, guys. I'm going to stand over there.
You guys put my name on that, right?
Yeah. You spelled my name right on that? Yeah. All right, cool. All right, sweet. That is me. With this whole herd immunity vaccine thing. I'm along for the ride and do not expect anything from me.
Yep.
So...
Yeah, see you in October. I had to have this conversation again with someone else.
Yeah.
But so actually, this is in you want your so there were a lot of times sitting in not that chair, but a different chair.
Yeah,
in
a similar chair.
in a different place.
Yeah.
But doing the same thing. And you'd be like, oh, I think we're finally getting past this. And I'm like, I don't know, dude.
Yeah.
I actually have 2 instances this week combined with Connecticut and Rhode Island kind of changing. 2 of my people that were COVID fucking freaks.
Yeah.
One guy who would not come into the gym. I trained him in the parking lot.
Jesus.
Until it literally got too cold.
Yeah.
And then he didn't want to be there with other people, whatever.
Yeah.
He's got his vaccination. His wife's vaccinated. All his people are vaccinated. They're doing a wedding for their daughter. They're trying to make sure that all those people are vaccinated, whatever. Hey, you fucking go nuts. You're paying the bill. I guess you get to make the rules.
Yeah, that's fair.
And if the brother-in-law doesn't want to fucking get the vaccine, then I guess he's not in it.
Whatever.
The groom will just sign the paper.
Zoom me.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking FaceTime me in the fucking back of the wedding hall.
So what does he say on Thursday upon his return? I haven't seen him in a few months because he skis.
Oh, yeah.
What does he say? Hey, do I have to wear this stupid thing right now? It's fogging up my glasses. Wow.
Holy shit.
How the tides have fucking turned, Trebek.
Yeah.
Never in a million years did I think I would hear those words
Yeah.
from him.
Yeah. This is it, man. Like, we're finally getting to the point, where people have had enough. But we've been there for a long time for a lot of people, but I think we're getting into the majority of people now have had enough. And also, people are starting to be done with the bullshit of, why the fuck did I go through the process of getting this vaccine if nothing is going to change for me? Because people want... They want something for what they do.
Right.
They say, if I'm going to get the vaccine, I want something in return. And when they get nothing in return, they're going to get pissed.
So in general, you do deal with a lot of younger people.
Yeah.
And because no matter what, it's all selfish reasons.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even I think Michaela finally booked it to try to get a first dose because she's just sick of people fucking asking her about it.
Yeah.
She's like, I'll just fucking get it over with.
Yeah.
But these people, I get to deal with a couple with some older people, which is why we've probably had differing opinions on this the whole time. And the older people, they were like, COVID freak. I'll take my week. You went to a wedding. I'm gonna stand back. Blah blah. Mask. Blah blah
Yeah.
blah.
Yeah.
But now they have their vaccine. They feel good because it's not going to put them in the hospital.
Right. 95% effective at something.
We don't know what yet.
at something.
So they're not going to go to the hospital if they get it. They're good.
Yeah, they don't care.
Now they're over it.
They don't care.
They don't want they're not even doing it for the trade-off.
Yeah.
They were looking at it because they were genuinely concerned about themselves.
Right.
They ain't concerned anymore.
Right.
It's like, if you want a booster, sure. I'll see you in 6 months. Because they're the ones setting alarms for fucking midnight to get appointments. They have the sibling or significant others. Give me a call, come up to Melrose, be there in an hour. Yep, be there.
Yeah.
They're good.
Yep.
So now, if I was going to say, if hopes and dreams weren't fucking for suckers, I would almost say that there's hope, but there isn't hope because we live in hell. Every day is worse than the one before.
Correct.
I'm a piece of shit. You're a piece of shit. Everyone's really a piece of shit. Just you and I are better at knowing it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I thought that was interesting this week, though. People want to take their mask down, whereas before,
Yeah.
that would have been no bueno.
Yeah.
Never would have uttered those words. I was caught off guard by it. I even looked at him. I go, fuck yeah, until someone else shows up here. I go, if no one else is in this building, I do not give a fuck.
Yeah.
The 78-year-old guy hasn't worn a mask once.
People don't care anymore, man. They're done.
He never did.
Yeah. My hero. There goes my hero. Where's the Foo Fighters when you need them? We get kind of breaking news here within the last hour. The CDC has come out and recommended resuming the use of Johnson & Johnson vaccine with a caveat.
Friday news dump.
That there needs to be a label noting the risk of the very rare possibility that you could get a blood clot.
Well, you know what? I know a couple guys in the label business. Good for them because they just made a shitload of money.
They have to relabel.
They just
everything.
made a fuck ton of money. Good for those small.
Yep.
Because a lot of these big companies will use smaller.
Yeah.
They'll use smaller like label companies because if you're a big company with a big order and you say, "Hey, how quick can you get those to me?"
Right.
And they go, maybe by the end of next week. How much to get it by Tuesday?
Yeah.
And he goes, fuck, I guess I'm working all night making labels. He goes, I don't even make them anymore, but I guess I am now because the government's giving them a blank check and now they're giving me a fucking borderline blank check.
Right. Right.
And that's why like they won't go to like big manufacturers.
Right. They're not going to go to like 3M.
No, because 3M will never. Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, you're gonna have to talk to corporate.
Yeah.
And they're, they work, but not really.
Yeah.
And it's like it's got to go in the queue.
Right.
Whereas if you call fucking Uncle Mike's fucking labels,
yeah,
Uncle Mike's probably answering the phone.
Right.
And then you can almost borderline boss him around because he'll do it. He's self-employed and he goes, that's a massive contract. That's a shitload of money.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
Because he can turn around to the guys in the warehouse who wants overtime.
Right. Right.
And only two of them will raise their hands because everyone else is a fucking piece of shit. All right. We got labels to make. Let's fucking do this.
There we go. That's awesome. Yeah, Johnson & Johnson is back.
And their local company.
With a new label. Telling you, man, I don't know. It still reeks. It reeks of fucking something.
Oh, it fucking stinks.
Yeah.
Absolutely fucking stinks.
I guess something came out. Someone released something in 2006. I think it was. It was either 2006 or 2016. One of those two. The CEO of Pfizer got sued $2.3 billion for falsifying claims and like reports and shit. So I saw it was like a meme where it was like 2006 CEO of Pfizer sued $2.3 billion for a thing. 2021. I wonder what the CEO of Pfizer is up to these days. And then it's like, you're going to need a booster after 6 months. And I'm like, dude, this is what we've been saying.
Recouping his losses.
Yeah. Dude, like this, we're ahead of the time. We're ahead of our times. If you need to fucking listen to us, you need to tell all your friends about us too.
The other thing too is people, because obviously I'm a fucking nutcase. But people also are like, dude, I'm starting to sound like you and Mello. I'm like, why? They're like, well, I don't know. It's like they're saying things and it like doesn't sound right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No fucking shit.
You're asking questions.
No shit.
As you should. I was the annoying little asshole as a kid where I always asked why. Like an answer was never good enough. Like whenever my parents were like, go over there, I'd be like, why? Not much has changed.
Oh, well, I'm like that now.
In 30 years.
Like you, can you do me a favor? That highly depends on what it is.
What is it?
Can you print something out for me? No. What? Why? What are you doing? Nothing.
I just don't want to.
Why can't you print it out? Why didn't you print it out earlier?
Yeah.
Why the fuck do I have to do it? Why am I covering your ass?
Yeah, I'm going to need you to go over there and talk to Chet about, his performance. Why? Why do you want me to do it? It's not my job. like I always do shit like that. I still do. It's always like, why? Why do you want me to do that? I always ask fucking questions. So, but it's funny. It's funny that you say that people are like starting to ask questions. So, want to start wrapping this up?
We can wrap this up.
All right.
So, we talked about This Is A Robbery last time.
Yes.
So, my final thoughts, and I'm not going into one of them.
Yeah.
I'm only going into what the 78-year-old guy I train.
Yeah.
So, he grew up in Milton.
Yep.
And he grew up with Miles Connors.
Nice.
the art thief who stole the Rembrandt from the MFA.
Yep.
And his alibi for this one, or I guess the Gardner one, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Is that he was already in jail.
Yeah.
But then there was that guy in Randolph that like kind of knew where shit was and was sending paint chips and showing whatever.
Yeah.
And he literally grew up with this guy. Like, they were friends growing up, like over the house, like not just.
He's got a book that I want to check out. Shout out to Tony, friend of the show. But he has the book. He bought the book. He posted on his Instagram, and it was like Miles Connor, like something about like how I stole art, or like the art thief, whatever. His book. He posted on his Instagram, and I go, bro, did you watch the fucking documentary? And he's like, oh yeah, the one about the Gardner Museum. And I go, yeah. And he goes, yeah, that's why I bought the book. I was like, all right.
So he grew up with this guy, like just like in Milton, like
Yeah.
like casual.
Yeah.
He also grew up with Moderano, who was one of Whitey Bulger's hitmen.
Oh, good.
So there's like Johnny Moderano and Jimmy Moderano and whoever the fuck else.
Yeah.
And then, you know, obviously Moderano relates to fucking Flemmy, who one of our buddies, his aunt used to fucking date Steve Flemmy back in the day and wasn't one of the ones who ended up in the ground.
Right.
Like buried underneath the fucking basement.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, so Flemmy had something with like the Patriarcha family, who we know the Lamonis, and the only reason I'm throwing names out there is because this is all public record.
Yeah.
Like we know the Lamoni family,
Right.
Whose grandfather was in jail incorrectly for 30 years.
Yep.
Got out, was immediately put as like the head of the Patriarcha family, the capo or the fucking Don or whatever the fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever the fuck title.
Yeah.
Immediately went there. Then he died. He was out for like 16 years and then he died.
Yeah. Very anticlimactically too.
What'd you say? He tripped and fell?
He was walking into a Dunkin' Donuts, I think, and he tripped and fell. He tripped on the curb and hit his head on the sidewalk and died.
Yeah.
I think he died of like a brain aneurysm after that or something.
Silent killer.
I'm telling you.
Them and Gators.
And Crocs.
So it's like we grew up with like knowing them. And then so that's the oldest is Peter. So Peter's son was just hit for, or Crazy Horse's son,
Yeah.
was just hit for sports gambling not too long ago. But that like extends to some guy in Melrose. That's like this big long thing that probably relates back to the Patriarcha family.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if that mafia initiation ceremony was in their house. I don't think it was.
I think it was somewhere in South Medford.
Yeah, so they lived in North Medford.
Yeah.
Or I think they lived in North Medford. But it was definitely, so it was in Medford.
Yeah.
It was just some small house randomly like down below.
Yeah.
And there was also someone who was just gunned down in Medford relating to the people involved in the art theft. I saw this on like Wikipedia or something.
Yeah, yeah.
It was like someone was just gunned down in Medford, like, and they were potentially related to like Donati and some of them.
Yeah. This was what, back in the 90s?
Yeah, I think so, because
Yeah.
the heist was in the 90s,
Yeah.
and it's just like,
Dude, everything's related. Everything is interconnected.
And then in the documentary, they were talking about the Loomis building in Easton that they were gonna
Yeah.
that they got caught before they were gonna go rob it.
Yeah.
That was the original Evolution location.
No shit.
It's ID Sign Graphics right now.
Yeah.
That's the Loomis building. Or that was the Loomis building.
Oh, no
That
fucking
was the
way.
first site of Evolution, because ID Graphics owns the entire building, and the first Evolution location rented space from them.
Wow.
And that was the Loomis building that
It's
they were
right over across from Stonehill.
that they were going to go and rob.
Holy shit.
So it's kind of crazy because now this is the other thing. I was at the gym and I asked Tom about who he knew, because he told me about it. He goes, he's like, I grew up with these guys.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, who was it that you knew once I watched it? He goes, Miles Connor. So I'm like, that's the best. That's the best person you could have known.
Right. And not only just know him, like literally grew up with them.
Yes.
Like they were friends.
Great guy.
Yeah.
Great kid. Real respectful person, blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
Yeah, just had real sticky fingers.
Yeah. Just one bad move.
Yeah, couldn't keep his hands off of paintings, you know? He had a real appreciation for art.
Yeah. Yeah, but he couldn't possibly pay for it. I will not pay full price.
Yeah. Oh, man.
And then it's just one of those that it's like all these connections. And these are all like legitimate connections that like it just I don't know, it just makes the thing like that much more interesting.
Well, yeah, because we're super close to it. You've watched it now?
Yeah.
Super interesting, right? Because it's like it's so close.
Yeah, and then it's like Santarpio's is where they found the fucking guy in the trunk.
Yeah, and it's like I've eaten at Santarpio's like a dozen times at least. Like I know I've parked in that parking lot. You know what I mean? Like I could have put my car one of the times in the same spot. It's just it's funny. Like it makes it more interesting because you almost develop a personal connection to it.
Yeah, and it's like the Whitey Bulger stuff. I know obviously every Irish person knows Whitey.
Yeah.
Like I know that.
Right, but like me personally and you,
no,
like, we're not like connected.
Just because
to
you grew up in Somerville or fucking are Irish doesn't mean you know Whitey Bulger.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's like,
but we are like 2 degrees of separation away from these people.
Yes.
Yeah. 2 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
2 degrees from a lot of things.
Yes.
Not like Barry's cousin's Larry, cousin Gary.
Man, fuck Barry's cousin Larry.
No, sold drugs to this guy and his sister. Like, it's not bad.
No, it's like literally the guy that you trained grew up with Miles Connors.
Yes.
Or it's like the kids we grew up with, their grandfather was
his crazy horse.
Yes. It's like we're only 2 Kevin Bacons away.
Yes.
So it's really cool. It's kind of fucking wild. What do you think about it?
Can I do final topic B?
Yeah, sure.
Because it was brought up when we were talking.
Yeah.
And I thought of this. Would you eat a bacon sub? Like bacon and cheese?
Just bacon and cheese. Honestly, I mean, probably if it was presented to me, yeah. But would I order it? No.
Like you wouldn't walk into a store?
I wouldn't walk into a store and be like, "Yeah, can I get a bacon sandwich?"
Can I get the fucking foot long bacon?
Yeah. But like I said, if it was presented to me, yeah, I would eat it.
I think it's weird, but I think it would be super good.
It's like a salami sub.
Yeah, like the Genoa salami sub.
Yeah, yeah. Can I just have a salami sub?
The fuck?
Like, why not just get a fucking Italian? What's wrong with you?
But I was thinking about that randomly because I think someone. Oh no, I think I saw it on Twitter. Someone was whatever.
Yeah, someone was like, "Oh, dude, the bacon sandwich."
Yeah, I don't know if I could fucking order it.
No, I wouldn't. I know for a fact
It's gotta
I wouldn't.
be so good though.
Yeah, but like I said, if someone gave it to me, I would eat the fuck out of it.
Just thinking that.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, my final thought is I'm invoking Joe Rogan for the second time in this episode. I listened to one of his recent episodes with Dr. Shauna Swan, who, whatever, if you listen to the episode, you can tell Joe is kind of like annoyed by her. So as a person, she's not awesome, but what she brought to the table literally is going to give me nightmares for like days. So her whole thing was she studies how plastics and chemicals have changed specifically for her, human reproductive health in the last, 50 to 100 years. And there's this whole thing, essentially, I'm going to boil it all down. Since plastics have become mainstream, sperm count in men and the average testosterone levels in men has dropped significantly. So we joke about this all, and this is why I was like, oh, this is so funny, because we've talked about this before. They said men that are alive today in their 30s, roughly, have, I think it was either half or 1/3 the amount on average of testosterone that their grandfathers had. And I hear that stat and I'm like, Yeah, well, I guess that checks out because I'm a huge fucking bitch.
Yep.
And my grandfather fought in World War II, got shot, went back, got blown up, and then went back a third time. He got 2 Purple Hearts, or maybe he didn't go back a third time, but I know he got 2 Purple Hearts. And then, he just decided to just build a house. And so he did that. And then, did a whole bunch of other shit. And, my dad was an everyman, could do anything, figure something out. Like he was really good with his hands, was fucking do all that shit. And here I am. I'm the only one with a college degree. And I could barely do any of that.
Yeah, so I don't want to sit here and blame plastic for being a giant fucking cunt.
No. But it's and I related that to this story because we've talked about it before.
Yeah.
The plastic isn't what made us a huge cunt. But the fact that on average, our generation of men has, let's just call it 50% of the testosterone of our grandfather's generation is like kind of mind blowing. And so they talk about like sperm count is super low in today's population of men. And they talk about how plastic, when women are pregnant and they're exposed to phthalates is what they're called. The amount of phthalates in their system is directly equated to male development. So they said like pregnant women that have high levels of phthalates, their male offspring, so their boys, on average have smaller dicks, lower sperm counts, and lower testosterone rates, which makes sense because if your body doesn't have as much testosterone, obviously it's not going to it's going to be like a stunted development type of thing. They're typically smaller, like shorter in stature and things like that. So there's all kinds of crazy shit. So like I hear this, I listen to this whole thing, and as far as Rogan goes, it's quick. It's only an hour and a half podcast, which is typically how you know he doesn't really like the guests because he doesn't talk to them for 3 hours. But like I said, her message is pretty legit, and I am fucking terrified because I don't think I'm ever going to heat anything up in a plastic Tupperware container ever again. Because they said the number one cause of transfer of plastic into food, because they said it's in food, it's in water, it's in all this shit. And even, I'm going to fucking scare some of you, all that shit that says BPA free, because BPA was like they link to all kinds of problems for people. Well, what these companies did is they took BPA out and they replaced it with this thing called BPF. So on the label, it says it's BPA free. But all they did was replace it with a different, I think it's a biphosphate is what it's called. So if it's like biphosphate A, they replace it with biphosphate F. So it's the same fucking thing, but it's just a different thing. So it's like, yeah, look, it's BPA free. And people think it's fine. But it's not.
Yeah.
So like I like I said, I don't want to ever fucking eat anything out of a plastic Tupperware container again. I want to go out and like buy all glass shit or like only eat things on like ceramic plates and bowls and shit. Cause that's what they said the number one cause not the number one cause, the number one, factor in transfer, I think. Like what makes the plastic transfer into things is heat.
Yeah.
So you can have something in a plastic container that just sits there and there's going to be a little bit of leaching of plastic into it, but as soon as you heat it, the leaching of plastic into whatever is in the container is going to be exponentially higher. So yeah, man, now I'm like, fuck plastic, dude.
Well, luckily for me, because I'm a fucking weirdo, 90% of foods I think taste funny, heated up, and it's not all that good anyway. Like especially if it's like leftovers or whatever. So
Yeah.
I don't even fucking use the microwave.
Oh, there you go.
But I'm not a fucking complete savage. Like if I have something that actually tastes good,
Yeah.
I heat it up because it'll be fine. But like
Right.
plain fucking chicken, I don't know. There's something that tastes fucking weird about it.
Yeah.
Heat it up for me.
Yeah.
I've always kind of like thought that. And like if it sucks, whatever.
Yeah. But it's interesting. She has a book. I don't know. I might get it I might just listen to it on Audible. It might be one of those. But her name is Dr. Shauna Swan, and Shauna is weird. It's Shanna, Shanna, but it's pronounced Shauna Swan.
Stop looking at me, Swan.
I think her book is called The Countdown or something like that. I don't know. But like I said, if you want to listen to it on Rogan, it's only an hour and a half podcast. So,
well, so if you really want to, what you can do is put everything in plastic Tupperware, and when you go to heat it up, put it on a plate, and then throw everything in the dishwasher.
Yeah.
And it'll be full in 2 days.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if you ever heard that before.
Oh yeah, no. That's a new concept to me.
Not an issue anymore, though.
No, it's not.
Our realtor asked me this morning, she goes, "You miss it yet?" I go, "Not yet. There'll be something that triggers it, but
Yeah.
as of this second, no, not really. I'm more relieved that it's fucking all over with outside of fucking
Yeah.
$250 from our fucking neighbor,
Right.
which I don't even know.
Yeah.
Mike's working on it, but
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, towards the end, it was more of a headache than anything else.
well, especially when you're trying to unload it, it's just like,
Yeah.
yeah, once you make that decision that it's over, it's like, all right, like now it's like it's more work to fucking clean this, get
Right.
rid of that, call the
Right.
junk man,
Right.
cancel this, get this reading,
Call the junk man a second time.
yeah, get cash for the junk man, get cash for the lawyer, get cash for the junk man again,
Right. Right.
pay the fucking septic guy.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, I agree. I mean, there might be a point where I'm like, ah, shit. But for the most part,
Yeah.
no, not yet. I mean, it's also only been, 2 weeks?
I don't even know.
Like,
I don't even know what fucking day it is.
yeah, yeah. Maybe not. Maybe it's been 3 weeks.
I don't know. It's actually been longer than I thought because I just looked and I bought the first card today in over a month that I've bought on eBay.
Oh,
It's been
wow.
over a month.
Holy shit.
Because I didn't want to buy that much stuff.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want it to get shipped to the wrong place.
Right, right, right.
So I just didn't buy anything. Then I didn't look at anything.
Yeah.
But bought a couple today.
Nice. Anything good?
The Prism Select stuff is out for 2020 football.
Oh, okay.
Premier level, concourse level. I don't fucking know.
2021, you mean? Or
No, 2020.
Oh, okay.
I know it is 2021 now.
Yeah.
But it's like
Still from last
Clyde
season.
Edwards-Helaire. That's who I bought.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But it's not like his new one yet.
Yeah, okay. All right. Well, that is going to do it for us, everybody. Oh, and Finn, if you're still watching at this point, you can go fuck yourself. Your fucking ambiance bullshit. Did you see his comment on YouTube?
No.
He was like, "Oh, this new ambiance is bullshit." I go, "Fuck you." So thanks to mybookie.com. Use our promo code SarcasmPod when you sign up. Oh, dude, I forgot to tell you. Well, I told you, but I didn't share with the audience. I'm on a fucking heater. I'm up like...
Yeah, thanks for withholding your fucking picks.
Dude, I'm on Action Net. Everything I do is on Action Network.
Yeah, and you
It's public.
And you expect me to go and check the Action Network?
I check your Action Network sometimes.
Well, for what not to bet? Well, chances are he put 2 in today, guaranteed to go 1 and 1.
Yeah. It's just to guess which one is which.
Yeah, oh my god. How the fuck can you be so mediocre?
Yeah. So, I mean, look at us. We are fucking poster boys for
Spewing mediocrity. Talk about a fucking infection rate.
So use that promo code SarcasmPod to get a mediocre 50% match on your first deposit, up to $1,000. And yeah, that's it for that one. Thanks for watching. If you're on YouTube, except for Finn, you go fuck yourself. Definitely make sure you're subscribed to the show, though. Give us a thumbs up. Leave us comments. All the engagement helps our visibility. And you can find us on Instagram at Sarcasm Speaks Pod. We're on Twitter at Sarcasm_speaks. And the Facebook page is Sarcasm Speaks. I may get the itch to put together another tournament soon. I don't know. Obviously, we've been moving and dealing with bullshit and having I literally just didn't have time. And on top of all that, I have a job too.
Well, that's the real problem.
Yeah, so the whole tournament thing, I just didn't have time for it the last couple weeks, but I may do another one next week.
The one I had written down that we didn't get to was ice cream flavors.
Yeah, so maybe I'll do that one. Maybe we'll do that next. So that's going to do it for us. Good night.